I'm Diego Sanchez, COO of HousingWire, and this is 10-Minute Talks. My guest today is Monet Pasillas, Regional Vice President of CrossCountry Mortgage. Monet, welcome to 10-Minute Talks.
Well, I'm happy to hear with you, Diego. You are like the Dan Rather of the real estate and mortgage industry here.
What a kind comment. I'm so glad to have you on and to be having this conversation. Before we dive in, could you give a 30-second introduction of yourself and CrossCountry Mortgage?
Absolutely. So I stepped into the mortgage space about 20 years ago, and I was a mortgage broker and working primarily in the subprime sector. And as I navigated through the years, transitioned into the IMB space as pretty much I think I did everything. I did loan origination, sales manager, branch manager, and now currently the regional vice president for the retail division at CrossCountry Mortgage.
Yeah, really interesting career. And you moved to cross country after 9 years at New American Funding. Tell me about your time at New American and why did you decide to make that move?
Absolutely. Well, I had a level of discernment at the time that it was my turn for advancement in my career. I sought for really intentional leadership. I want to be a part of a successful organization and that actually focuses on making the loan officer the most important, um, you know, part of their organization. And, I also sought for a company that demands accountability for their leaders. And, I thrive in all things and, everything that I do, I'm heavily invested into it. And, I'm looking into helping developing loan officers and branch managers bring their skill sets and their talents to the forefront. And, I myself started at an IMB. I started at an I-call center and worked my way to the outside loan officer position. And I've had many people advise me that it's not a good idea and I wasn't going to make any money. And I'm so glad I didn't listen to that advice, because I want everybody to build wealth. And here I am, presented with this opportunity for expansion at CrossCountry Mortgage.
So it is a leadership position. Are you managing a couple of branches? Tell me about your organization at Cross Country.
So my goal is our goal is to expand in starting out at the West Coast. So my goal is to build branches about, I would say 10 to 15 by the end of 2024 through the first quarter of 2025. Currently have about two branches now. And I do manage and lead a team, a great team, and really excited for the new year that's coming. I mean, we can already see a little bit of, good fluff coming through the door for a bright light, right? So.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about your management style and what makes up your day. Are you doing mostly recruiting right now? Tell me a little bit about your day to day.
So that's a great question. I actually do a lot of, I would say I'm a jack of all trades right now, being that, just transitioned within the month. But my goal sets are to recruit and to find really good leaders in this industry to represent our organization the way that fulfills loan officers to build themselves. So our goal is to actually build within and recruit and get them in as leaders.
And how has it been for you transitioning from more of an individual contributor role to now being a production leader?
It's been an amazing transition, actually. The main thing that excites me every day is our leadership community. It's been an amazing transition because one, you feel like everyone is on the same page as far as the expansion goals are. And, the reason why I came to cross country, to be honest, was the top 2,500 when you filter and sort. I mean, the first 5 pages of those pages are cross country mortgage branch leaders and loan officers.
I've spoken to a couple already, and so it seems like the company is doing a good job of attracting leaders like yourself. What do you think it is that they're doing in their recruiting process to attract leaders like you?
Like I said earlier, it's intentional leadership. As a community, when you are leading, you also want to be surrounded by those, same leadership type roles. You want them, you want to feel that there is authenticity. And you also want to feel that you are part of that group that wants to expand in other areas and to also build that wealth from a generational standpoint, as far as like your loan officers and building them up to branch managers.
And in your career as an LO, were there mortgage products that you specialized in, or do you work across all the products?
I work across all the products. Some of my loan officers have their niche, their your primary products, but most of the part, I do. I mean, I've been doing it for 20 years, so I feel very well versed in all the products. But right now, my biggest thing, if you want to know what's really happening over at CrossCountry with our pipeline, is our 10-day close with a money back guarantee. That's one of our biggest products. Second product is our Bye Bye PMI. I'm sure some have heard about it, where we pay the mortgage insurance. If they're putting 15% down, we cover that mortgage insurance between the 5% differential.
Tell me about that 10-day close. How are you achieving that from an operational perspective and from a technology perspective?
So our leaders have put this together where our ops team and our sales team are in unison. So our products are going in with so when we manufacture a loan, we pre-approve the buyer first, obviously through underwriting. And after it goes through underwriting, we go into escrow right away, and it goes in for pre-positioning. So it actually allows us to order the appraisal same day once the disclosures are signed. So operations is filled with the expectation that they are being kept accountable to make sure they move it along within those 7 days. So we have enough time to close within the 10.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And we talked a little bit about the market maybe turning a little bit towards the positive right now, but in general, it's been a difficult time for the past year plus. How have you been keeping a positive mindset? And more importantly, how have you been guiding your team to keep a positive mindset during this difficult housing market?
So I tell my team all the time, listen, this industry, we're the only ones that truly know that we're having a difficult time in the market, because it's our community, right? We are the only ones. I mean, you talk to somebody that is in a different industry, they don't really know that it's difficult. So we have to pivot our mindsets to make sure that we understand that we can't dive deep and present every day waking up thinking that it's a difficult market. We have to wake up every day and say, you know what? There's some challenges in this market, but it's not a difficult market. So, to be transparent, our team has not felt that difficulty throughout. I mean, I think we've had the increase since April. We have had a tremendous couple of months, because when you pivot your mindset and you tell yourself, like, you go on Zillow and you see all these homes up for sale within a 3-mile radius. How is that a difficult market locally, right? So we start off looking at things like, okay, we can be one of those loan officers. We can be one of those lenders for 1,100 homes in a 3-mile radius. To me, that's not a difficult market,
I love that mindset. And when you pair it with these great products that you just talked about earlier, I imagine that's the recipe for growth that you've been seeing.
Yep, it's definitely it's really exciting to be able to even tell a client, hey, listen, we can close in 10 days. We can close in 10 days. It's like a cash offer. So it's been creating a lot of buzz, and it's working, and everybody loves it.
Well, Monet, it's been so great catching up with you. I really appreciate you taking the time today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of 10 Minute Talks. If you want to stay up to date on all things housing, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and drop a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this video.